Alright.
You ready?
I think so.
Alrighty. So we begin your session 0. Not a specific moment, more so this is, let's say, a Thursday night, probably midnight. Eylia, you are, I'd say sound asleep, but throughout this night you feel restless. You are asleep, you are unconscious. However, something is unsettling. There's something that won't let you properly rest. And the following morning, you wake up tired. Like the feeling of when you have too many hectic dreams and your brain just doesn't properly rest, basically. Your brain has been oversaturated or like overwhelmed, and you didn't. While your body may feel rested, mentally you are you're kind of well,
Not all there.
yeah, not all there, basically.
Lights are on.
Uh,
Somebody milling around.
exactly. Um, you wake up to the usual clatter you've been used to throughout this past month in the Laughing Turtle Inn. You hear downstairs. You hear who you can only assume to be the Sirens and Lena getting on with their day. You hear the clattering of pans as the breakfast rush begins. You hear Lena shouting orders. Stanton standing or putting in the back, so on and so forth. What'll you do?
First things first, she's gonna make sure she's not feeling sick. Like, that's my first go-to is, oh god, I'm coming down with something, aren't I?
Kind of take a moment to just look yourself over. Kind of, I guess, become self-aware of your like just basically your general health. You don't you feel tired, obviously. You feel
Right.
a bit worn, but nothing really is out of the ordinary. You don't feel like you're coming down with a cold. You don't feel like you have a stomach bug or anything. The only thing that catches your eye, or I guess your awareness, is a almost for a brief moment you catch a whiff of something metallic. Not iron, not like blood.
Right.
Just
That slight twang.
yeah, yeah. Um, and you feel a shiver run down your spine,
Hmm.
but that's about it.
I think she just
Nothing
kind of
wrong.
grumbled.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say nothing wrong physically.
Right. I think honestly, at most she'd probably just grumble, shake it off, and see what it is. See what it is that's going on downstairs. See if they need her help.
Oh, wait. As you head downstairs, you see what you've come to know as the breakfast rush here in Antlatoon. Antlatoon is a very big city, being the main port city between Kaika and the mainland.
Right.
It's not only the main port town, but it's not the main port city. I mean, but it's also like a trading hub. This is the first stop where merchants set up shop before they head out into the cities and in farther inland, basically.
Yeah. A lot of
Uh,
traffic in and out.
exactly. As you head down, you almost bump into Yantley, a water genasi with warm green blue skin and seaweed green hair, kind of pulled up into a messy ponytail.
Right.
Uh, how tall is Eylia?
Um, I don't remember if I had actual things, but I had her kind of more on the short side. Uh, my dumbass didn't write it down. Let's go 5'4".
Okay. You almost bump into him. He's carrying a tray, and throughout your month here, you've known that Yantley is exactly the most verbal person. he tends to convey most things through his facial expressions. He kind of gives you a look of whoops, before just continuing on serving the table that he's tending to. At the bar, you see Lena, this young half sea elf with full golden skin and aqua hair tied in a ponytail. She is basically taking orders and shouting back to Thanton, who you hear in the kitchen, as Brandy is also taking orders. She sees you and she waves you over.
I'll jog over there, get a move on. Maybe think about grabbing some coffee when I get there.
As you make your way over, she says, Eylia, good to see you're finally awake. I guess first things first, you want breakfast? Obviously, we need to get this morning rush out. But before I send you out for the typical morning shopping, do you want something to eat?
Just something fast, greasy. Sausage, maybe? Toast?
She kind of snaps, points a finger at you. Got it. And she turns back and she shouts, Thanton! Meat platter and some toast, please. And coffee? As she looks over at you with a wink.
Extra strong.
Extra strong. And you hear in the back, got it. As you catch like a quick glance of what's this man's skin color? Of sky blue skin, just kind of going back and forth in the kitchen. After a few minutes, Leah places a plate of basically an assortment of different meats, sausage, a bit of pork, a bit of bacon, and a nice hot mug of coffee in front of you.
Sweet ambrosia. Thank you, love.
Of course. I'm gonna get you the list for today's shopping, and I'll send Randy with you. He's not really doing much, and you just hear Randy in the background, just like, "Hey, I'm tending to my own tables," and she just kind of waves him off.
Right. Because he's such a slacker, obviously.
Obviously. And she just kind of leaves you to your plate.
I wouldn't imagine she's exactly picking at it, but she's not scarfing it down either. She's that kind of you're not late, but you slept a little bit later than you wanted to in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of vibe going on.
Fair. As you're eating, you kind of turn to the tavern just to kind of, I guess, get a feel for what the day is about to bring. While it is busy, it's not as busy as you've seen it before. There's a decent amount of people in here, but you've seen this place packed wall to wall with people. Now there's at least some walking space. There's not a lot of people bumping into each other. Everyone's actually rather comfortable at the place. You see that a lot of people tend to have you see that a lot of people have actually gone their plates already, and being free as their customers eat, you see Rofier, this sea elf with cold blue-green skin and short wavy turquoise hair, take the stage with his lute and just kind of start strumming a tune, as he's wont to do when his tables have been tended to. I'm actually gonna.
Oh, sorry.
I was saying because I'm gonna send you these. I actually do have visuals for these men's. Go on.
Cool. Oh, I'll just go. Like I said, slackers, the lot of them.
Let's see. Should have downloaded beforehand. Oops. We send these to you and your DMs.
Alright. I don't think that was a voice crack, but I couldn't tell you for sure. I was waiting for that bing.
There you are.
Ooh. Well, that's a man's.
That he is. Oh, that one didn't download. Okay. And then the twins.
Ew. I like that sword.
It is a very nice sword. Okay. Oh wait. After a few minutes, after you've kind of picked at, like, let's say half of your play, Leda comes up to you, a list in hand. It has the usual, what you usually need for a tavern, basically. It has the basic groceries, like, let's say 3 dozen, bread rolls. Basically just a lot of supplies. a lot of
Well,
food
the basic.
items as well. Yeah. What you need for the kitchen, basically.
Yeah. It's your gallon of milk, carton of eggs, but for a big ass building. Not
Exactly.
just. Yeah.
Dubia, dear? As she hands it over.
I mean, it's better than I thought you were going to give me this morning. I wouldn't mind a walk. Sure.
Thank you.
My back for life.
When you're finished that up, just give a call to Randy. He'll join you. Feel free to take the cart.
Oh, thank God, I was about to ask. I'll make it as fast as I can.
I appreciate it.
And she's going to, I guess, gather her stuff and piece of toast in hand, head out the door.
You can tell Randy.
Probably should have said that in better terms.
All right.
He is not stuffed, but yes. Sure, he would appreciate being called stuff as well.
Coming, and he follows you out. You guys head out to the left side of the building where there is a cart. It's one of those, like the ones that you just kind of lift and just, I guess, like it is a cart, right? Like the ones you lift.
Yeah,
from the front.
not quite wheelbarrow, but not quite horse drawn.
Exactly. Randy takes the lead on that. He just kind of takes the cart and he says, let's go, shall we? Let me see what I named these places. A lot of things are stuff you can find at a general store. The usual shop that the Laughing Turtle kind of gets their supplies from is known as a Pleasant Day's Wares. So that'd probably be where you guys would be heading first.
Right.
Yep. Um, as you head through the streets of Antlatoon, as I said, there's a lot of movement in this town. Merchants shouting from their stores, a lot of travelers with their carts or with their mounts, also traversing the streets. You make your way to a Pleasant Day's Wares. And it's actually this very large, hectic general store. You can see that it's not actually like the front desk isn't actually part of the building. Like the building itself seems to be just pure storage, basically, with there being a small stall where where the front counter would be.
Right.
Like the front wall is missing, I guess you could say, and there's just a
Right.
counter. Um, you can see that there's a few people at the front desk talking a with another Trident man, fairly older in years. You can see that he has dirty cyan skin and dark black straight hair held up in a mantail with orange eyes. He's fairly short. He's actually shorter than you. He's 5'1". And you can see as he takes order, he's shouting to the people in the back, and you see a few other Tritons. You've come to know that this is actually a family-run business, and you see men, women, even some children kind of running back and forth as she shouts orders and shouts requests. Basically, in the back, they're just gathering whatever the client orders before bringing it to the front desk and so on and so forth.
Right.
Yep. As he sees you coming up, he's like, "Oh, the Sirens and Miss Eylia. What can I get for you?"
Well, we have another list of more of the usual. Uh, Debating if I want to throw anything in for me.
Well, how about I see the list, and while you think about it, I get your order in place.
Oh, thank God, so I thought you'd actually make me have to count it out myself. She's going to hand over the list.
He'll take the list and he'll start shouting orders to the back. Some along the lines of 1 crate of vinegar, 2 crates of wine, so on and so forth.
Right.
And as he does, you see basically, I guess like 3 or 4 Tritons carry out these large crates to the right side of the building. Some of them helping Randy load them onto the cart.
She'll take a moment. Ooh, fucking hell, voice crack. She'll take a moment, wave to anybody if they're not outwardly busy, but she doesn't want to, step in the middle of that. Carrying heavy shit is not the time to have a chat.
Yeah. As you wave, you actually manage to catch the eye of who you've learned to be the granddaughter of the owner, Rugless. She is, let's say, like 8 years old, like this small little Trian girl, and she gives you a wave with a smile. She's missing like 2 of her front teeth.
Yeah. Childhood stuff.
Yeah. Do you want to buy something while you're here?
Uh, hmm. I can't think of anything that actually mechanically come to mind, really.
That's fair.
If anything, she might have a sweet tooth for a couple of copper, but that's about it.
Fair enough. After a few minutes, one of the Tritons just pats the last box and says, "You're ready to go?" And Randy hands over a bag of coin that's on the desk. I guess that'll be all for us, wouldn't it?
Should be everything in there. Extra fees included.
Roglas takes the pouch and gives you a nod. Thank you for your service. I hope you have a wonderful day.
And you too, love. Tell the missus I said hi.
Will do. And please do stop by for a chat. She loves to hear she loves to hear any story that comes her way. And he gives. Oh no, I thought you were gonna say anything. Go on.
I say, she wouldn't want to hear most of mine. Anyway,
um, with with a grunt, Randy manages to pull up the cart, and you guys begin heading your way to the market square, kind of to get get the more fresh produce that's necessary for the evening mostly, for the dinner rush.
right.
The market square is basically just a bunch of stalls, primarily food, vegetables, fruits, meats, bread. Um, you guys take your time going around, getting the basic stuff. A few pounds of vegetables, a few pounds of fruit, a bunch of bread. Um, and at one point, Randy just kind of leaves the car and just starts kind of wandering around, seeing what every stall has. Eventually, he comes back with two bear claws, and he offers one to you.
Oh, and here I thought I was going to yell at you for just leaving me with the cart. You're forgiven. And she'll take it.
Oh well, thank you for your forgiveness. And he kind of gives a sarcastic bow as he takes a bite from his own bear claw.
All in all, I feel like we're making a good time today. Tell me, did you sleep alright last night?
As all right as one can. There was some commotion. Apparently, someone got too drunk. Stanton and Rofil had to do away with them, but that's besides the point.
Maybe. No, I slept like a rock. I'm probably just overthinking it then.
You're right.
Don't know. Feel boggy. I should have went to bed earlier or something. Slept in. Just feeling you know?
You didn't confuse the vinegar for the wine again, did you?
No. Only one.
All right. Maybe a nap is in order before the dinner rush. Gods know we'll need all the help we can get during those times.
Maybe. Not like I have anything else to do today other than chores. At least, not that you don't say. Alright. You talked me into it. Not that I need too much convincing.
All right then, let's head off. You know how the streets get at this time of day, and you did notice that you guys left the inn around like 10 in the morning. It's now like 11:30, and the streets are a lot more crowded.
Here comes the midday rush.
Once again, Randy takes up the cart, and you guys begin heading back to the Laughing Turtle, and it does take you like a good half an hour to get back. Maybe like more so around 45 minutes, because with the
Right.
cart and with the amount of foot traffic that there is, it's kind of hard to navigate.
Yeah, you don't want to just
Um,
run somebody over.
exactly. Um, as you pull the cart up to the left side of the building, um, Randy opens the side door, and Stanton, who you can now see properly, this. I should not have separated these guys' descriptions. Let me see. this 6-foot Triton with this sky blue skin, straight platinum aqua hair, and honey yellow eyes. Comes out and starts helping you guys with the crates. He is shortly joined by the other two, Yentley and Rofir. And you guys basically just start setting everything up, restocking. There are some things that you guys been running very low on, so you, like, for example, this crate of wine. You guys basically just end up popping that open, just sliding it under a shelf, because that tends to go rather fast. But other stuff like vinegar is fairly well stocked, so you just kind of leave the crate closed and push it to the back of the storage room.
Just kind of shove it under a shelf until you need it.
Exactly. Lena takes the more, what's it called? The fresher stuff off your hands, the vegetables, the fruit, the bread, the meats. She takes it into the main kitchen, just kind of getting it set up for the evening rush. She actually tosses a large pot on the stove. From what you can gather, there's gonna be some sort of stew served tonight, so she's getting that ready. But yeah, I don't know if you want to converse with any of these men.
Ah, there's just a little, like, kind of an aside as she's unloading, particularly the bread. She just kind of, to no one in particularly, have we ever thought of starting our own bakery? Just a little oven in the back, a couple of loaves.
I'm gonna say the person you're talking to is Stanton. A bakery, might be a bit easier than a tavern. However, I don't think any of us have the knack for that. As he kind of looks over at the other four. I mean, Lane, myself and Lane are the ones who handle most of the cooking. But even then, there's a reason we buy our own bread. Almost burned the tavern down last time. As he kind of pulls up a sack of flour on his shoulder.
That's a story we're going to have to unpack at a later date.
He just shrugs. A roast does require high temperatures. However, a roast isn't exactly the same as a loaf of bread, is it? And he just walks into the tavern.
No, they're bloody not. All right, that's. I'm satisfied.
Okay. By the time you guys have kind of put everything away, managed inventory, you kind of help around the kitchen for a bit. Just mainly, I guess like a sous chef, just kind of helping chop stuff up, helping wash vegetables, so on and so forth. Just kind of getting everything ready for Stanton and Lena to help to get cooking.
Right. Voice crack.
Yeah.
Jesus.
2 o'clock runs. 2 o'clock rolls around, and it's surprisingly, despite this typically being the lunch hour, the tavern doesn't actually get all that full during it. In fact, it's one of the more slow hours. You know that it's in part because at the end that tends to take a lot more of the business during the lunch hour is the Misty Serpent. It's kind of the more it's the most rambunctious taverns in town. So it tends to be a lot more welcoming during the day and more so at night, but at nights it's
a particular crowd.
Yeah, exactly. So Randy called out to you as he's tending tables. He says, "Eylia, if you want to head up now, we should be able to handle the tables."
All right. I appreciate that. I'll do a few extra dishes tonight in turn. That'll make me feel better about it at least.
I'll keep you to that.
I hope you don't. And she's gonna start heading upstairs.
All right. You walk into your room. This room that you've kind of made your own throughout the past month. It is just like any other tavern room. The bed, the desk, a small dresser. I don't know if you would have added, taken away anything from it to kind of make it your own space while here. But it is just kind of quaint and cozy and comfortable.
Yeah.
All right, so you take your nap. I'm guessing.
Yeah, she'll probably spend a minute to unwind, unpack, just kind of from the day, but basically flop and pass out. Yeah.
All right. As you make yourself comfortable, you obviously close the curtain. Just try to make it anything as you need for a good nap,
Yeah.
and you feel sleep start to take you. Um, you feel your senses go numb. You feel the light get filtered out completely through your eyelids, and everything is just dark and numb and silent. As you kind of feel yourself sink into the mattress, you feel yourself not fall, but almost like submerging into this very viscous liquid. And as you open your eyes, you see yourself in a darkness. This space is filled with a wavy, iridescent, metallic, and lustrous, just inky blackness. You can see your hands, but other than that, there's nothing else visible in this space. And as you kind of think to the bottom of this space, or what could be a semblance of the bottom, you hear a voice resonating in this space. A very familiar voice, but a voice that has been quiet throughout this past month. You hear Aetheric, and he says, Eylia, it's been a while. I hope you've been enjoying your vacation of sorts.
Yeah, I was hoping you just forgot me.
Oh, my dear, how could I forget about you? And you kind of feel this darkness kind of, I guess you could say, caress your face before pulling away.
Mm.
It's been a month, you know. A month since you've kept up your part of a bargain. And you know, I can be patient, but I don't like to wait.
Uh, so, what? You just want fast food right here, right now? I'm a little busy. At least I was until you pulled me out of my nap.
Yes, playing barmaid with the others.
You call it
And
playing. I call it not being homeless.
you kind of feel this darkness just kind of shift, not in a bad way, kind of like in what you recognize to be a sort of chuckle.
Mm.
I suppose your well-being leads to mine. However, no, I do not crave fast food. Uh, and this this inky blackness that makes up this area kind of shifts you into like a standing position, or just kind of like bring you to attention. There is someone who there's a particular target that I want taken care of. Um, hasn't done anything yet, but he could prove troublesome in the future.
You actually have someone for me. This is new. What do I owe the pleasure?
A nobleman. He should be traveling, and you can kind of see um this room kind of spinning a bit, um, in a whirlpool almost, as he thinks and talks. A nobleman traveling via caravan up to Verdosa. There's more to the man than meets the eye, but specifics shouldn't concern you. I just need him dealt with, but do know he probably will not be alone.
So I'm hearing it's going to be another long week.
More than you might think. Rumors are that your little stay here might be interrupted, at least for a while. Monarch Inkra is apparently still looking for the true murder back in Kaika. It's only a matter of time until her search expands.
Be that easy, could it? It's it's not exactly easy to just walk out on the twins or any of them, honestly. I You're laying a hell of a thing at my feet here.
I am merely giving you a mission. I'm also letting you know of any potential dangers or obstacles that might come in your way. Sure, you could ignore my warning, deal with this nobleman, come back. However, that will not stop Monarch Inkra from continuing her search. Rumors are that they are quite the monarch, especially given Kaika's reputation, ruling it with an iron fist.
Mm, don't remind me. I Fuck. Alright, I'll just worry about leaving for now, and I'll worry about a courier delivering a letter later. I don't know.
And you feel, I guess, I won't say a hand, but you feel something on your shoulders. And you hear, good. The caravan should be heading out tomorrow, probably in the morning. And if I'm not mistaken, and the inkiness kind of stops for a moment, the distance between here and Verdosa should be approximately 13 days. You feel, not a hand, but kind of a presence on your shoulders as he says, good. You have approximately 15 days. I'd recommend dealing with him before he gets to Verdosa. Mm. From what I understand from there, he's planning to head to Daxon, which might be a bit more complicated.
Mm. There's a lot of long shadows between here and Berdosa. Easy to get lost in. Afterwards, lot thinner shadows. Alright, think, I think, I think I can make this work.
You best, let's say you will make it work. think implies the possibility of failure. And you feel like a pat on your head.
Ever the compassionate and caring one. Right, it'll be done. Ugh, feels gross to say.
I look forward to it. And this darkness kind of envelops you for a moment, and you get that same metallic smell of almost mercury and a shiver go down your spine. And then dark. But not the same dark that has been enveloping you as you had your conversation with Aethior, just kind of dark as in basically you like actually falling into proper sleep.
Yeah. The absence of
Um
light, not the absence of thing.
yeah. Um you wake up to a knock on your door. Um and you hear Randy's voice. Eylia, dinner rush.
Um, mm, right, right. I'll be there in a minute. She's gonna kind of rub the sleep out of her eyes for a minute and stare over at her wardrobe where she keeps a lot of her old adventuring stuff and just gives it a good long think before she goes downstairs.
Um you go downstairs. The dinner rush is obviously very busy. The tavern gets full from wall to wall. Tables, um, tables occupied and busy. As some patrons are even just kind of taking their shots at just standing instead of actually fighting for chairs.
Right.
Um, dum-dum-dum. As the night goes on, um, this is luckily one of the nights where, for lack of a better term, shit doesn't hit the fan, and everyone manages to keep a good hold of their drink, and it's just overall a more joyful evening. There's no tavern fight. There's no brawl that breaks out. In
No
fact,
one's pulling off in the hot seat tonight.
exactly. In fact, at one point, it's come to the point that they met that the inn manages to get a performance by the four sirens. Typically, it's usually one or two, because the other members are usually busy tending to their tables.
Right.
Yep. So all in all, fairly jovial night.
Yeah.
I must say,
Not a wild weekend, but a good one.
yeah. And I must say,
Ah.
you get 15 copper and 19 silver as just kind of tips throughout the night.
Okay. Actually, I'm in handy now and then. Who's use?
Hmm. Eventually, the night. Give me, God damn it. Background noise.
That's all good. It's all good.
The night winds down. Um, there are obviously a few patrons that did get a bit too deep into their drink that do just end up passing out their tables or passing out at one of the corners. However, um, you know how it goes. You guys don't really kick them out. You just attempt to charge them the night at the inn when they wake up. The tavern does clear out for the most part. The only stragglers that get left behind, let's say 3 drunken people, 2 at one table and 1 in a corner. And around 1 in the morning, as you guys are just kind of doing the cleaning, picking up dirty plates. In fact, as he picks his up from his own tables, he puts them on top. Randy puts his plates on top of yours and says, "For the nap," before giving you a cheeky smile and going back to cleaning. And
I was gonna say, which of them would I need to talk to about taking a leave specifically?
you know that in terms of tavern responsibilities, Lena is in charge, but in terms of like outside of tavern work, generally, I guess you could say like the leader of this group is Rofil, the
Right.
sea elf. Yep.
Oh, I think at least probably while I'm doing the cleaning, I'll have him come back there and have a talk real quick.
Rofil, despite being this performer, the leader of the sirens, he is a fairly serious man when he's not on stage. Fairly um res not reserved, but really quiet.
Right.
Stoic, I guess you could say. Eylia, what can I do for you?
I have a big favor to ask, and I don't really know how else to ask it. So I'm just going to be blunt with you. Aren't you lucky?
He raises an eyebrow.
I got a message not long ago that I may or may not need to go. Bit of a family emergency.
Is everything alright?
Kind of. It's one of those things that's going to take commitment. How much do you know about Dragonborn? He's gonna attempt to flash a smile. How friendly and/or threatening that comes across is up to him.
Uh, not much. Unfortunately, I think you're one of the first I've seen.
Well, let me just say that you're a little lucky, and I don't have the time, or honestly the parchment, to sit through all the specifics. It's just, we have a very large family, and family's everything. Yeah?
All right.
So, long story short, I'm going to need to be gone for a while, and I don't know how long that while's going to be.
He lets out kind of not a sigh, but like one of those breaths like okay.
Yeah, that
As
that
he
was heavy kind of thing.
yeah. As he runs a hand through his hair. You know that we're not gonna hold you here if responsibility calls. Where are you headed exactly?
Well, I need to meet with someone up north, and then from there it's a whole thing. I can send you like a letter when I get there, a courier or something, if it'll make you feel better. I can explain it so much better then.
He as you kind of go on this little tirade, he kind of puts a hand on your shoulder. You don't need to explain your absence. Obviously, we each have our own responsibilities. However, if you are going with Tuberdosa, and he kind of thinks for a moment, and he looks back into the storage room. And you haven't noticed it, because you're not really the one who You help stock the pantry, but you don't really pay attention to what's taken out. You
Yeah.
do notice that there are just a handful of ale barrels left.
Yeah.
If you're going to Berdosa, would you mind if I don't know, maybe no, Yantli isn't exactly on for travel. Lena has to stay here. Would you mind taking Thanton along? At least to accompany you to Berdosa. That's where our usual ale supplier is. However, he hasn't answered lately.
Um, I mean, if it's just as simple as going to poke in and tell him to write you back, then by all means, yeah, I can do that. That's easy. It's the least I could do.
Thank you. He puts he has one arm already on his shoulder. He puts the other on the other as he kind of just looks at you in the eye and he says, "Although we hate to see you go, do you know that you will always have a place here? I think you've managed to fit in quite well with the others. As you've caught on, we're not exactly well, not by blood, we do consider each other family, and I do believe you have come to fort your own part of it."
Of course, I don't think I could begin to explain how thankful I've been, and you know, the moment things calm down at home, I have to come back. You know that.
Of course. And he kind of pulls you into a side hug. For what it's worth, I do appreciate you letting us know, and not just, running off on us. We've had that happen before.
Well, thought it was a bit more, I don't know, appropriate this time. It's not often I get that kind of, I don't know, warning. Family events usually just kind of happen.
Hmm? Sounds like you... Sounds like you tend to get a lot of your plate very suddenly then. I don't envy you.
You really shouldn't.
Alright. Um, I'm guessing given emergency, you'd be heading off rather soon?
Right, honestly, I'm probably thinking first light.
I see. Very well. Um, do be a dear and help us finish up the cleaning, and I'll let Danton know to be ready by first dawn.
Of course, we'll get there in record time.
And he gives you a pat on the shoulder before walking back out to the main area of the tavern.
Oh, this is going to be a disaster.
All right. You guys finish up your cleaning. Eventually, two a in the morning runs around. In the morning room comes around. Um, you all turn in for the night, managing to get as much sleep as you can before. Well, partially for Lena, Deantley, Randy, and Rofil for as much sleep as they can get for the morning rush, and you and Thanton for your trip to come. Um, Eventually, you wake up at first dawn, as you had said, around maybe 7 in the morning. You look out your window and you see the sun slowly rising over the Antleton coast. Oranges, yellows, and some reds beaming off the water of the sea.
How am I going to do this? Well, nothing else to do but face the day, I guess.
As you head downstairs, the tavern at this hour isn't open to the public just yet. You come downstairs and you see the rest of the sirens and Lena just kind of doing a bit of brushing up. Lee kind of escorting the three drunkards who stayed the night out of the tavern to go back home.
Yeah.
Um,
Slightly lighter.
yep. And you see a table with two breakfast platters, and some coffee. And across the table, from the chair closest to you, you see Thanton. And he says, "Well, seems you and I are gonna be hitting the road rather soon. Best to head off well fed, shall we?"
That's what I'm thinking. We have a long ride ahead of us. Couple of weeks worth.
Indeed. The rest of the sirens join you for breakfast, and for a moment you just kind of it's clear that Rofil kind of like filled them in on your departure, and during breakfast you guys just kind of briefly reminisce about your month here, from how you first got here to how you kind of learned the I guess the ways of a barkeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you generally just kind of spend time together, remembering the short, albeit nice times you guys shared.
Yeah. No, small little going away party.
Yep. Um, as you finish up breakfast, Lena stands up and goes to her room, which is actually on the first floor, as opposed to yours, which is on the second. And she comes back with a small box. And he says, "I was hoping to save this for your birthday. However, since we don't know when you're gonna come back, I figured I might as well give you this now." And she holds it to you.
I'm touched. I wasn't expecting. Uh, thank you. Thank you. And I'll very gently take it.
She gives you a warm smile. You open it now, we open it later, just so I know what to send you, what it is now or later.
I mean, I feel it is their gift. They would at least want to see my reaction to it.
Fair enough. As you open it, you see inside a small blue clamshell on a silver necklace chain. Um, while you're not exactly like you have some magical attunement, not, but it's not to the extent of one of a wizard's or a sorcerer per se. You do sense some magic coming off it, and basically, this clamshell will allow you to store tiny objects and will only be allowed to open by you, so long as you're attuned to it.
Aw, I like that.
Yeep. Eventually, you begin to hear the hustle and bustle of the merchants kind of commence outside the door of the tavern. And with that, Lena kind of looks at you and says, "I bid you good travels, and please do visit us soon." And she takes one of your hands and both of hers, and please do be safe. And do visit when you can.
Of course, it's not goodbye, it's just so long for now. It'll be hopefully soon enough.
Hopefully. I best get to. I best get to starting the breakfast rush. as she gives you a nod and unlocks the tavern door before heading back to the kitchen. Randy stands up and he also he pats you on the back and says, "I enjoyed your time here." He says, kind of sarcastically, but you know that's just ribbing.
Yeah.
And if I see you if I see you soon, well, he just kind of shrugs. I'm not good with words.
Honestly, I'd be surprised if you suddenly were.
Haha. He just kind of pats you on the back.
It's going to be boring
Uh,
without your humor, at least. I'll admit that. If you tell anyone I did, I'll deny it.
duly noted. And Yantley just kind of goes up to you, pats your shoulder, and just gives you a thumbs up and a smile. Mance doesn't really talk.
Yeah, just probably a hand on the shoulder, gentle squeeze. Sometimes you don't need to say something.
Yeah. And as you get your stuff together and Thanton gets his, Rofil says, "I'll accompany you to the exit." Uh, and he turns to Thanton. You take the cart. Obviously, ale barrels, as strong, and he does air quotes, as you may be, uh, not exactly the easiest to carry back here. And Thanton just rolls his eyes and says, "Will do," as he heads out and grabs the cart.
Could be worse. Could have to roll them all the way here by hand.
Yes, however, that tends to hurt his pride.
I could do for a little bit of pruning now and then. Just a little.
You guys, at the cart in tow. It's a different cart. It's like actually one of those with the four wheels that can be hooked up to be a larger carriage or an actual horse.
Yeah.
You guys make your way to the northern exit of Antlatoon. I don't know if you want to do some shopping before you head out, be it just general shopping or anything else.
For the most part, I think I had everything I want. Because most of my basic equipment's pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh, wait. You make your way to the northern exit of Antlatoon. You eventually reach the stables. You manage to catch wind of a caravan leaving, and you very probably assume that this is where they'd be heading off from. You come to the poppy pastures, which is basically the northern stables for Antlatoon, and it is run by, a half orc. You see him you see this half orc, fairly up there in years, with rugged pecan skin and short autumn burn hair. He's around 5'8" with hazel green eyes, and you see him just tending to the horses of the caravans. You see, this isn't the largest caravan you've seen. You've seen groups of people you've seen groups of up to 20 people traveling, but here it's like a few less than 10 with a few guards. You see a few merchant wagons, a few passenger carriages, and the guards as horses. And Rofil says, "Well, this is where I leave you. Eylia, be safe. Thanton, just come back in one piece." I bid you to travels, and I hope to see you soon.
I'll write you as soon as I can.
I'd appreciate it. Brofield eventually sets off, and Danton goes about hooking up you guys' cart to one of the passenger carriages. Well, I guess it's just you and I from now on. He gives you a wink.
Don't sound so excited.
How could I not be spending what is it, 2 weeks worth of travel with a delightful woman like yourself? And he kind of gives a very cheeky smile. You've come to learn that flattery is this man's language.
I can't tell if you're just having a good day, if you're trying to get something out of me.
He gives you a shrug and basically reports in with the head of the caravan. And as you kind of look over the crowd that you're going to be traveling with for the next few days, you see a few commoners. You see what appears to be a mother and daughter with a few potion bottles on hand. You see what appears to be a human man with a much older woman. You guess probably his own mother. You see a centaur, surprisingly. And then you see who you'd probably assume to be your target, a nobleman with 2 guards by his side.
We have quite the crowd with us. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks.
That I will. Maybe we could get some extra coin from performing.
Maybe. We can hope so.
That's the spirit.
Definitely give them something to remember, if we're lucky.
And with that, everyone loads up, and you guys set off northwards. You cross the gates of Antlatoon, and you set off. Surprisingly, the weather is actually rather nice. Spring showers tend to be very common at this point of the year, but for the most part, the weather is nice and sunny. A bit windy some days, but nothing too rough. Would you do anything to try and complete your mission as you guys travel?
So that's what I've been thinking. Because I have so many spells and cantrips on me. That being said, one of the easier things I have is simply darkness. My main thing is how and when would I be able to use it? Obviously, middle of the night would be easiest. You know what? It's a 28-day cycle. What are the odds that it's a moonless night on our travel?
When you left, actually 2 nights before you guys have left, it had been a new moon, so it's basically around maybe what's it waxing? Like when the moon is starting to get full, basically.
Yeah, waxing. It's slowly starting to build up. So it's
Yeah.
still small, though.
Yeah, it's probably waxing probably a crescent moon.
Okay.
Just so you get a visual of what's going on. Basically, the caravan travels purely by day. It's not slower than if you were traveling on your own, but it is I guess kind of like bulky is not the right word, but that's the only word that really comes to mind. Basically, you guys travel the 8 hours, maybe more to like 12, and you guys stop for like 2 hours, set up camp, and then sleep the 8 hours, and then another 2 to kind of pick everything back up and continue on.
Right.
You guys take proper time to set up a decent camp, basically.
I think I kind of know how this would go.
All right.
It would most likely be, since the moon's still pretty little, not a lot of the light's being reflected back. Hopefully, one of these nights would be cloudy, and if that's not the case, just wait for, a calm or the very least one of the quieter nights. But it would probably be easiest to wait for them to kind of be on the outside of the group, which, if they're pompous enough, they might want to be away from the normies anyway. And honestly, from there, it's just where to go, where to go. It's just using this to make sure that I'm the only one who can see, and my tattoo to make sure nobody gets out.
Wait. I'll pull you onto a map. 'Cause I do have a map.
Okay. Because the way I and she has been thinking about this, that one of the most common things that can happen on the road, bandit attacks and animal attacks.
Yeah. This is basically what you're seeing. Like typically, this is the setup every night.
Mm.
You probably guess which one is the noble's tent.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd be pretty. It'd be pretty rough, but it could be done. Middle of the night, sneak up behind, use a dagger or something to kind of tear the tent open, rip it specifically, and yeah, ugh, wouldn't be easy, but with the darkness and quick enough, nobody would know, nobody'd wake up.
Fair enough. Okay, so let's play this step by step, and I'll have
Okay.
you roll as we go.
Okay.
I'll have Dantley over here. Stanton. Playing just a little song for the commoners.
Okay.
Can you move that token, by the way?
Excuse me, what was that?
Can you move that token? Or is it doing the thing?
Yeah, no, I can
Okay.
move it. I was just crippling yawn.
You're good.
Um, so yes, first things first, we're just gonna kind of make our way back to the thing while everyone's having their little revel. People are doing their things. Like, I guess the best way to put it, she'd remove herself from the main activities for a little bit here. And when things are finally starting to wind down, or after they've wound down, when, everyone's just too fucking conked out. But for the time being, just kind of excuse yourselves for the night and has a little wander to go wait, I suppose.
Okay.
God knows neither of us are looking forward to this. Let's do it.
Yeah. Are you waiting for the commotion to die down before going over here? Or are you just heading over here now? Not
Basically,
commotion for. Mm-hmm.
okay, so basically the way I'm seeing it is she would excuse herself for the night for him. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, she would be out of the picture. He would vouch for her. Everyone else is doing their thing, but she's just kind of obviously not.
Yeah.
And then bada bing, bada boom, do some sneaky sneaky, and then I may or may not have a plan depending how badly this goes. But let's hope it doesn't go badly, yeah? It's gonna
Okay.
hurt.
You kind of lurk around the forest. You do get a side eye from this guard down here. But it doesn't really say anything. Obviously, people are free to roam as they wish.
Right. I can mumble something embarrassing if I need to. Like, yeah, gotta
Yeah.
use a little lady spot. Give me some time. Come on.
Um. Eventually, let's say an hour passes, and you start seeing the fire get snuffed out as the main crowd heads inside. Like they head into their tents.
And this is like camp foods, right? Food stores, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Eventually, the fires get snuffed out. And do you have dark vision?
Yes, actually.
Devil sight?
Indeed.
Okay. I'm
Going
gonna
to
need. Mhm.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I would say it's part of my hopefully funny little thing I want to do by the end of all this.
Alright. Um. hmm. As you kind of lurk, I'm gonna need you to roll me stealth, since you are now actively trying to conceal yourself.
So, why am I guidance? I should not be guidance.
um. Okay. Let's see.
I would like to do a thing while I'm over here too, by the way.
Yep. What would that be?
I would like to sacrifice one of my rations to kind of start sprinkling foodstuffs on the ground around here.
Okay. I check something real quick.
Oh, what now?
Okay. As you kind of stealth and kind of, I guess, crunch up this little pouch of rations, you hear some shuffling from the tent, and you see this nobleman kind of peek his head through the flaps of the tent. You can't make out what they're saying, but you do know there's some conversation going on.
Does it sound alarmed, annoyed, tired, pompous?
Roll me insight.
Oh, if I can refrain from hitting myself like that, what is my... A lot of 12s today.
Yep. It does sound a bit annoyed more than anything, but you also managed to pick out, like, I guess, basically scheming.
Hmm.
Like at first it seems annoyed, and then you bless you. You heard it get a bit more serious, and you see that the guard on this side kind of pays more attention to this man as he talks.
Ooh. I see myself a distraction, so while they are busy conversating and arguing, she is gonna start making her way back here.
Okay. Roll me another stealth. Okay. I'll say these guys are distracted as you kind of in their own conversation, and you are unable to see, but you do hear footsteps kind of going about this way.
Am I at least somewhat concealed where I am if I stay still?
Yep.
Okay. For the time being, I'll make sure those footsteps aren't approaching me. Because I think I'm where I want to be.
Okay. Do you just lie in wait?
Basically, I'm just gonna wait to make sure these footsteps aren't coming around to poke back here and see what the fuck's up. If nobody's
No,
gonna stay.
yeah. You actually hear them getting further away.
Problematic.
Like I don't know how, like I don't have dynamic lighting, but basically this whole area here is dark. I guess like moonlit.
Right. Dim
Yeah.
light.
Yep.
And it went off in yonder.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, I might be able to do something here.
Ooh, okay.
Maybe. Or no. I remember at one point I did manage to. Oh, never mind. I was gonna put like an overlay on it, but I don't think I can do that.
Oh.
Yeah. You kind of hear them getting further away. And the voices have stopped.
Is this tent like? Is it a solid fabric tent, or is it kind of like one of those things where there's a space between the ground and the actual fabric of the tent?
No, it's a solid tarp tent. Like it's like I guess basically a small building, just tarp, like nailed down. Like the tarp itself is pulled taut.
I'm debating poking a tiny hole to take a look inside to make sure nobody's not in there.
You can do that.
Like probably like use my dagger and very tiny hole at the bottom, like right next to where the ground and the tent meet. Put my eye right up there, face on the ground, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to get away with murder here. I don't really have time to be proud.
There. You pull the tarp and you kind of run your dagger up it with a satisfying. And as you peek inside, you see all the makes of what you'd assume to be a nobleman's tent. But you don't see anyone inside. And what actually catches your eye is that from your perspective, the doors of the tent are open, and you no longer see the nobleman here. Like at this position where he once was. Like when you saw him back here. The only person you see from your point of view here is this guard. This man's.
This man?
No, this one. Yep.
Not this tent. Which could be a problem. But at the same time, could be an opportunity. I'm gonna take this opportunity and I'm gonna start sneaking my way back front to see if I can see anything.
No, okay.
Boop, right here in the dark. I mean, I guess it's all somewhat dark, but right here in the shadow of the dark.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm in the wrong layer. Oh, there you go. As you're there, you see this man's. You'd see him here. Like you managed to catch just like around the corner a glimpse of this man's here. And I'm gonna roll something quick. Give me 1 sec. You kind of see this man intently just kind of looking off in this direction. And as he walks, he actually ends up kicking a metal bucket over. And it seems like at that, all hell breaks loose as you hear the shout of a woman coming from, again, this direction.
Hmm. I creep a little.
As you step there, you see this bodyguard just dragging these commoners out of their tent. And you hear a guard just shout like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And immediately all hell breaks loose as this man pushes the woman down to the ground and pulls out a mace.
Hmm.
And I just pull this out real quick. I forgot her name. He pulls out his mace and the nobleman just says, I forget how to phrase this. The nobleman says, "Don't move. Desra will have her blood." As you see a spell begin to form in his hand.
Well, that does kind of. That does kind of change things. Are they directly next to anybody?
Uh, who? Which one of the two? I guess.
Either of them, because I have an idea. One of a couple. I want to see if this is viable.
The only person you see next to these two is just the woman. You can bring her to the token layer so you can see her.
She would just barely be out of reach. Aww.
Stuff.
Okay, yeah, no. Easy enough. Uh, I don't think she really waits for. I don't think she really waits for anything else to happen at that point. She's not exactly any kind of Batman figure. She's not here to make a. So we're gonna pop that down just right on top of him. Well, not right
All
on
right.
top. I guess that'd be kind of silly, but circle.
Want to make that linger?
I did not make it linger.
Fucking darkness is Lord.
It is. Then again, if I drop it here. Okay, I like this idea better, actually. Because he still can't see shit.
Okay,
Yeah,
give me 1 second. I'm trying to get the combat music up, and it's not. There you go. Okay.
growling at dog.
So you pop down darkness, and we are gonna roll initiative.
Cool.
Might get the initiative up. There we are.
It's gonna be so fucking weird only having 2 spell slots per rest. Let's do this.
Yep.
Son of a bitch.
What'd you get?
There we go. Nothing. I just accidentally removed my circle.
Oh, okay.
I tried to click on my token and I was still in the wrong thing.
Gotcha.
Still are the best. But these guys are working in the dark, so fuck it.
Yep. I will give you a surprise round.
Ew, okay.
Yep. Just let me get these other guys on the board. Great. That's lovely. Okay. You're up. You have 1 round before we fall into combat into initiative.
Okay. So I think the funniest thing to start with would actually probably be before I dive into the smoke. To come on, game. Where'd you go? Pop one of. Oh God.
It is surprise round.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I was about to say he's also he's not a commoner. I don't know that for a fact. Well,
Excellent. Go on.
so oh God.
Okay.
Is there anything left to be repelled 10 feet?
Yes, actually.
Okay, good on him.
As he goes flying back.
I'm genuinely really scared. I wish. If darkness wasn't a concentration, I definitely would have casted a hex as well and called this a fucking day. But yeah, the only other thing I have would be like hand trippy stuff, and I'm pretty sure my tattoo is an action. As an action, yep. So we are. That's my action. Son of bitch. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay. At least I think.
Yep.
Making sure this is. I mean, either way, I need to do this to get him, but. I
Yeah.
hope this works, I think. This is me setting up. I don't have any bonus actions per se. Because I'm not a 2-weapon fighter. Okay, I think that's it.
All right, now we fall into initiative as you hear the guard just kind of start. I guess. What does the guard have on him? I'm pretty sure he has a shield. Spear. You hear him start banging his spears together, just kind of sounding the alarm. Um. I'm trying to figure out what this man would say because this spear of darkness just appear as one of these guys pulled a commoner from their tent. Everyone alert. There's danger afoot as he kind of attempts to charge into the darkness
Okay,
to where he last saw commoner.
fair enough.
And he will take his action to just try and pull her from where he last saw her. To kind of reach out, grab. And I'm gonna just count this as I'll just count this as a sleight of hand. Yep. Yep. Okay, so you like through the darkness you managed to see like from right under this man's nose. The guard just grabs the commoner and just kind of pulls her aside over here. And that's gonna be his action.
Fuck yeah. There you go, bro. Serve and protect.
Yep. This man's turn. Though he didn't see what was happening, he does know that there be movement afoot. So I'm pretty sure he has. Open, please. He does not. Okay. So you just see him blindly, obviously, just pick up his axe, his mace, and bring it down where she once was. Obviously, it misses, but that kind of like sets him, like, I guess, like lets him know that there's no one there now.
Oh, he's gonna start playing Battleship with it. Okay.
The other thug, instantly just charges into the fray. Also not seeing much. I guess no, he's gonna let off a shot, just blindly into it. I'm gonna roll a d100 for this. And let's see. If he gets above an 80, he will hit you.
All right, that's good enough odds. That's some XCOM ass accuracy.
That's an 89.
And just like XCOM, I'm surprisingly proven wrong.
Let's see. That's a 16 to hit.
Actually, I think that. Wait, yeah, no, that hits.
You feel a heavy crossbow bolt just dig into your shoulder for 6 damage.
Okay.
And then it is your turn.
Cool. Make sure that I'm reading this correctly. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to come over here.
All right.
15, 5, 10. Okay, everyone's in range. And these poor bastards, I'm going to try to invoke this.
Okay. Oh wait, I'm
And
gonna need you to roll concentration.
Right, I did get hit. Thank you for reminding me.
Yep.
I mean, hey, if it drops down, surprise. Where's my con? There's my con. Hey,
Okay. Yep.
just barely.
Still up. Yep.
I guess not just barely. It was 10 because that's the minimum.
Yeah. So who are you grappling? Who are you coiling?
Um, creature within. So we're going to eeny meeny you. I don't want you to get away. Let's get him. He's my main target.
All right.
If he dies,
That
I can literally just disappear and pretend like I got hit trying to avoid the crossfire. You know?
yeah. All right. That's gonna be a. Let's see.
DC 14 strike.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Or take damage. Okay. DC 14. That's a 3.
Ooh.
Roll that damage. That damage.
I don't have a thing for this. I'm going to have to make an attack in my sheet. So it's just 36. Right? Yeah, 36.
All right. Your tattoo just. Hmm? What?
Said deliciously average.
Yep. Uh, the tendril lashes out from your arm. I'm guess it is your arm, right? Like an arm tattoo. The
Yeah.
sleeve lashes out from your arm, coils this man, and you see it kind of like sink into him as it just squeezes. And man just lets out like a very guttural, just rat, just kind of struggling against the force of this tentacle.
Perfect. Uh, no. If I drop, if I drop the darkness, then I'll cast the hex. For now, I'll keep concentration. Uh, Still no bonus actions. I'll have to take care of that in the future.
So your turn.
I think that's everything. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll get there.
It is this man's turn as you hear him start chanting something. And he is restrained. Give a second. I just want to make sure this doesn't prevent anything else besides movement. Let's see. Okay, yeah. You see him start chanting something, kind of like waving his hand at his side because of the tentacle, as he is casting bless on the two on his two guards.
Okay.
And that's gonna be his turn. His guards are now blessed.
Enjoy that D4, boys.
Yep.
It's gonna suck when you feel it disappear because you know you just lost a paycheck.
And then you hear this guard just ask to say, Mrs. Head to the tents, alert anyone who can fight. And he charges into where he heard the slam of the mace come down as he tries to blindly attack this man's. That's gonna be a disadvantage. But the 7 does not hit. Back to the other guard, who is down here. You don't see him, but you do hear him just say, Archie, wake up! And that's gonna be his turn for the moment.
Use the help action.
Yep. Right, that guard was the start of initiative, so I'm gonna prompt these two real quick. Well, this one real quick first. I'm gonna get him on the initiative. This man's is gonna focus on the guard here. He has a 1d4 because of Bless. That's an 11. 1d4. 13. That does not hit. You just hear the clank of this mace on the guard's chainmail. As you see the other guard this guard here, just wander into the darkness, bump into this man. And you can see he's thrown off, feeling that there's something else already restraining this humanoid figure.
Bump into something a lot squelchier than you expected.
Um, and you just hear him, uh, don't move? Just like very confused, like doesn't know who is ally, who is foe. Um, and he actually doesn't know if this man is ally or foe, so he's gonna leave his turn at that. He has to take the dodge action.
That's fair.
Given he hit you before, and you kind of stayed within the same line of fire.
I guess I did, didn't
Yep. if it's above a 50, he'll get a shot at you.
I? Okay.
81. That doesn't matter. The bless does not matter there. You see an arrow you see this man hold up his crossbow, and an arrow just whiff by your head.
Okay. Okay.
Your turn.
As soon as I'm done with your boss, big guy. As soon as I'm done with your boss. That being said, we're gonna come down here and give him a good fucking stab.
You have advantage because of restrained.
Thank you for reminding me. Right, I have the hand axe, not the short sword. Thank
That
God I
hits.
had the. Thank God I had that though. And because of what I am. Oh no, actually, because the other guy's not close enough, so it really wouldn't matter. No point green flame blading.
Okay. Mans is very bloody, and he is gonna roll for that con save. That concentration save, I mean.
Right.
Bless is still up.
Ooh, okay. Oh, wait, no, that's right, it missed me. Never mind.
Yep. Your turn?
Mm. God, what I would. My fucking kingdom for a bonus action. So I was here, so that's 5, 10, 15, 20. I can live with this.
All right. Do you tell the guard anything?
Um, I don't think I'll say anything about the guy in front of us, but I will say, let's see, he's probably facing. I can see him facing the man, correct?
Yes. This one knows that there's someone next to him.
Right.
I'm guessing like he'd be facing this way, just kind of like disoriented, like knows the general direction. And these two are kind of looking at each other. Generally, they're still at disadvantage. Like they roughly
Uh,
know where their opponent is.
I think as I slide between these two guys, I'll shout to the guard, forward and to your left is crossbow. Just kind of
Phew. Okay,
because
guessing that's your turn. Oh, mm-hmm.
hold on, I'm keeping my finger
Yeah.
so I can actually do some measuring here. Because forward and to his left, yeah, it'll bring him there roughly.
Okay. Understood. And it's this man's turn.
Where? Took me a second.
Yeah. You see this dark ball of light once again just kind of from his hand as he casts Sacred Flame. I'm gonna need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
I can live with that.
Great.
Well,
Well,
cavalcade of errors.
That's one damage, and I need you to roll con.
Okay. Damn it, did it again. 1 damage. Roll con, 15 feet. Okay. Oh, maybe I might go away. Nope, get rid of my advantage.
The 21 was the first roll anyway.
Yeah.
The guard continues to fight this man's at disadvantage. This. That's a 5. He misses. Great. And this man will have also heard your warning, so you don't see him, but you do hear footfall from here. And I'm gonna say he does see this man's from his precision.
Right.
And you manage to see him just chuck a spear. Which misses. Thank
Wasn't
you.
even a disadvantage. Can't blame
Yeah.
that one on me.
You see it. He tosses it just straight over the man's head. Okay.
Draw aggro.
As the spear lands, you also hear some commotion going on over here. You can now tell everyone in the camp is fully awake, and you hear Stanton just say, "Eylia," as he rushes from his tent.
It's gonna be a little hard for me to fake this, so here's hoping this darkness doesn't go down all of a sudden.
Man's in the fray, and he is going to roll initiative. That's a 16. Okay.
Fuck him up.
This thug is up next. Before you said you let the guard know before you shuffled, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this man is still focused on the other guard. That's a disadvantage. That's still 20. Okay, great.
Okay, he actually got that one through.
He does 8 damage to the guard. You hear a sickening clank followed by a crunch, a beefy crunch,
Ooh.
as he just sits him inside. It is this guard next. Following your word, you just see him not dash, but run up. He manages to escape the darkness in front of this man's and to get an attack. See, I have so many different tabs. There we go. There's a 22 for 6. As he just jams the spear into this man's side. He is bloodied, but still not out.
Okay.
And Fant enjoys the brain. Like, you can see him on the outskirts of the darkness. Clearly hesitant to go in.
Right.
Let's see. What can this man do? Hmm. You'll just see him run into the fray of where he last heard damage being taken. As he runs over here next to this guard. And he's just gonna swing. Knowing the guards have chainmail, he's gonna attack in front of him at this.
Okay. Come on, my man.
He has a rapier. That's an 11. I don't think that hits. Oh no, it does hit. Meets it, beats it. Okay.
Okay.
And just pierces this man's side for 6 damage. A lot of 6. Okay. 26. Okay. And it is now this thug, seeing the guard come out of his tent. He is going to attack. No, seeing this guard come at him, I mean. He's gonna attack with his mace for 19. Jesus.
God, these guys came fucking packing.
And that's gonna be 6 damage to this man's. Okay. Whack.
I only have so many Eldritch Blast, guys. Come on.
You're up.
Okay. Tell me, if he's restrained by my tentacle, can't I drag him with me?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, son of a bitch. I really need to stop that. Okay. I think I would like to try to bring him over here.
Next to his bodyguard.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just thinking, like, let's do a contested strength check. He'll be at disadvantage.
Right.
You'll still have him grappled even if he passes, just they won't be able to move him.
Regular strength or like acrobatics or athletics or whatever?
Athletics. If it matters.
Yeah, no, from the looks of it, I don't have any of the proficiency, so fuck it. We'll still do athletics, though. Well, yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Man just kind of shifts his weight down, and he's not moving. He's still restrained, though.
Yeah. All right. What it's worth, my man, I really did try. Also need me a melee spell. Anyway. Oh, come on.
Pretty sure it's a miss. Yep, just misses.
Ugh, just misses. Gross. I'm at least gonna back over here so he can't get flanked.
All right.
And I don't quite know what I'd say to him off the top of my head, but I would let him know that I am here. I'm still alive. I won't let him know anything about me knowing this shit, but I'm here.
All right. You can tell just by his composure that he is relieved that his friend is still kicking. This man's turn. He is going to try and escape, but if I'm not mistaken, is another strength competition. Yeah, DC 14. He is still stuck. That's his turn. This guard's gonna focus on this bodyguard. That's still a miss. I don't think man has landed a hit, but it's fine. And these two just double up to tag team this man. He is now flanked. That's not the sheet. And that still misses. Okay, great.
Boys.
I know. Does that miss? Give it. Yeah, also he runs by, picks up his spear, and just stabs his man. It does hit, because the +2 from flanking.
Thank God.
For 4 damage. Damage. Hearing you, he is gonna try and smack you with his mace. He is at disadvantage.
Okay.
That is a 16.
Yeah. Okay.
A bludgeoning. I'm gonna need the con save. Concentration.
Yep. Con. Oh,
Okay.
I don't think that's supposed to be.
Nope.
However, now that it's dropping, I'm also going to drop the grapple because I don't want anyone linking that to me.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, wow. That was totally not it. Hold on. 21.
You're good.
We're going to go. 19. Okay. Owie.
Darkness dropped. Man is now no longer restrained. Everyone has visibility. This guard is gonna focus his attention onto this guard still. That's a hit. For 2 damage. Oh. This man is just on death's door. And as the darkness drops, Stanton looks at you. Well, quite a night. And he is going to cast... Let's see, what's he gonna cast? He's actually not gonna cast anything. He's gonna give you Bardic, and he's gonna attack this guard. You have a 1d6 Bardic.
Fuck yeah.
That's a 20.
Get fucked.
And 10 piercing.
Fall.
Next is this man seeing he's not going down with a fight. Even if he sees he's in trouble, he is still staying afoot. He's gonna attack this man who looks worse off. That's a nat 20. Unfortunate.
This guard might have yeed his last haw.
Yep.
Well.
Wait, that's 1d6. You know, the 1d6.
I was gonna say it's...
That's it, and you see this man just basically cave the guard's skull in. As the guard is dead.
Brutal. Alright. Nothing. Not the
There we
worst
are.
she's seen, but still not a very good sight.
Nope. You're up.
All right. You need to perish. And you need to perish quickly. Do I really want to waste it on this dude? I mean, if not now, when, right?
Okay.
This,
And
there's no one behind him. I can let it rip.
all right. Let's see. That is a dexterity saving throw. That is an 8.
Woo!
As your lightning spits out, you just see this man get charred from the like. Your lightning basically digs itself into this man's torso, and you see him get charred from the inside out as he just drops.
Ah, we see the faulty microwave.
Yep. This man is dead. And you get the
Sorry.
you just get a whiff of mercury again as this man drops.
That's all she needed. As long as she got that kill, everything else is functional. All right, round down onto this guy. Bada bing, swivel.
All right. This man is dead. It's up to this guard if he can land a hit, which I don't think he has.
He is
That's
he's having a time.
that's a 9, and it still misses.
He is having a time.
Yep. This man seeing his buddy just get his fucking skull bashed in is gonna try and stab this man. Also misses. Great. And this bodyguard isn't actually, he's bloodied, but he's not looking too bad. He's still a fair bit healthy. And I'm gonna roll. Seeing as okay, yeah, I'm gonna roll a d3 and determine that. 1d. You see him kind of look around, and his sights land on Thandon as he just takes his mace and brings it down.
Oh fuck.
That's a 23.
God, buddy, you need to get out of there.
That is 8 damage to Thandon. He surprisingly he doesn't tank it, but like man stays sturdy against the hit, surprisingly enough. Give me a second, let me map this out. Guard dead, Thandon's up. Dum-da-dum. He takes his rapier and pulls out actually a dagger as he attacked twice, offhanded.
Attaboy.
That's good. 17, and offhanded doesn't include proficiency, right?
Correct, unless you have the fighting style.
Okay. And 6. Okay, so at least
Or
the
the dual
rapier.
wielder. Or the dual wielder feat.
Yeah. That's 11 damage as you just see Thandon first try and strike with his dagger, and as this man manages to duck under it, you just see him pierce this man's torso with the rapier. Man's up here, still not going down without a fight. You good?
Yep.
Okay. That is a 14. For 8. This guard takes a beefy hit. You're up.
Alright. This man's needs to go away now. I mean, I guess I could offhand, because the hand axe is a light weapon anyway.
Yeah.
I can't. That cantrip does nothing unless there's a friend nearby it, so I'm kind of just down to smacking the dude for now.
Fair enough.
I need more cantrips. Not Green Fame Blade. I wanted to hit my axe. It's still the same mod, at least, so. Why
Would
are you
that
still
be...
hit? I hit normal.
Is that the 12?
Yeah, it should be the 12.
That
Advantage.
hits. Roll
No.
damage.
Disadvantage. Huh? Let me hit the regular hand axe because Green Flame Blade really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well,
Mans is just left standing.
come on. Perish.
Perish. That man's dead. Can the guard land a hit?
Please. My man.
Hey!
Hey, with a vengeance.
That is 5 damage, but it's enough. Man just pierces this man's torso with the spear, fully clean through. He is dead. And it's just these two left.
Eylia's inner guard is thinking, fucking finally.
Let's see. Hey, okay. As this one also finishes this thug off.
Ah, perfect. For the most part, my cover was kept.
And let me just change the music.
Yeah.
As the chaos goes down, eventually, oh, that's not it. Oh, no. Eventually, the rest of the commoners kind of all slowly leave their tents. The guards begin lighting once more the campfires. Everyone's very clearly shaken. Like no one really expected something like this to happen in their little camp. Of course they were aware of potential dangers, maybe some wolves, maybe bandits, but I don't think anyone really expected one of their own traveling companions to be someone dangerous.
Right.
Give me a second. Let's bring everyone up to a token layer. They're not particularly of note. Just I set up these tokens. I'm gonna put them out here.
Yeah.
um, Eventually the three guards. Oh, I squashed Damon. There you go. The
He
three
has become.
guards kind of. He's become squashed. The three guards line up the corpses of the men that had basically set up this attack on this poor woman who's very clearly shaken, but she's managing to recover well. Not him. What do you do?
Uh, First things first, I'm gonna come make sure he's okay. I'm I have a bolt in me, but he took a mace.
um, he obviously looks bruised a bit, bleeding a bit, and obviously you haven't seen him in a combat setting. At most, you've seen him dealing with drunkards, but it seems like he took that mace surprisingly well, especially for just being a barkeep slash entertainer.
Yeah. I guess they don't quite make them like they used to make you anymore, huh? Really broke the mold. Ow.
It seems like you ended up worse than I did.
I may have taken a stray shot trying to get away from all that.
He is gonna put a hand on her shoulder, and he is gonna cast Cure Wounds if it'll send. Well, why is it not sending?
'Cause it is son of bitch. I don't.
The fuck? It sent the description, but it's not sending the actual thing.
Yeah, I always have issues casting it from the thing. I always just set up a fucking whatchamacallit, custom heal thing.
Fair enough. Oh, okay. Da, da, da. Yeah, he puts his hand on. Okay, there it is. He puts his hand on your shoulder, and he's gonna cast Cure Wounds, and that heals you for 11.
Oh, thank God. Oh, nearly fully good. Nearly fully healed.
Yeah. Well, that was
No more than
rather.
a nasty punch.
Yep. That was rather invigorating, I'd say. Hmm.
That's certainly one word for it. Last time I go to the bathroom without an escort.
As the caravanners sort of you and the caravanners sort of gather around the campfire. You see the guards, these two guards, just kind of converse among themselves, and eventually a third guard joins. Apparently, he was keeping perimeter. I low-key forgot about him, but that's at the point. And the other two kind of catch him up on what happened.
Okay. Mm,
Is there anything you'd like to do?
I'm going to go look at something real fast. You just, I don't know, take care of that contusion, I guess?
I guess I could provide some entertainment to hopefully lighten the mood as as he goes back into his tent and comes out with his harp.
Honestly, that's a better idea. And I'm actually, while they're talking, I'm gonna go look around in this man's tent because the last thing I was expecting was some kind of fucking, I don't know, political assassination? Honor kill?
Fair
Like,
enough. Are you just going in like that, or you get kind of trying stealth and
uh, I don't think she's trying necessarily to just brazenly walk in, but I don't think she's sticking to the shadows per se. I mean, I guess she's trying to squeak in, if that makes any sense.
yeah. Uh, yeah, you help with the fight. I'll say they're kind of the guards are kind of too entertained catching their third buddy up and lamenting the loss of one of their own. Roll me investigation.
You know what? It's fine. Session 1, I'm actually gonna roll good. It's gonna be fantastic.
All right. Um, it's as any noble tent would be. Um, a pretty fine bedroll, a small like pop-up desk, some lanterns, a chest. Um, Nothing really catches your eye. The only thing that is pretty present outside, aside from the chest, is this open journal on the pop-up desk.
Well, nothing left to do but be nosy. Too dead to care about his privacy anyway. And I'm going to take the journal and plop myself on his bed. Or cot,
All
or
right.
whatever.
Um, as you read through the journal, at first it seems like at first the first few pages are basically inventory logs. Um, Something about a few trades, nothing really of note. It's not until you get into the last like halfway through the journal, like the pages are empty, and you just kind of like begin to flip through them like really quickly, and it's at the last, let's say, 10 pages where it starts to get interesting because you start seeing prayers and scriptures of a goddess that you've heard of but isn't common.
Mm.
Um, you start seeing scriptures revolving the one unforgiving general. Um, Actual name being Desra.
Okay.
And one at first if it takes you a bit to connect the dots at first, but you see her symbol, which is a torn red banner. And a lot of um a lot of the passages tend to have something to do with destruction or being reborn, or from pain comes victory. Desra, you'd know, is a war goddess. However, her domain tends to be more of the negative aspects of war.
So she's more the bloody conquest and slaughter over the honorable fighting and yeah, okay.
Yeah,
She isn't there because she has to be. She's there because she wants to be.
yeah, exactly. You gather that these guys are basically worshippers of or were, I guess, worshippers of Desra. Um though it's unclear what their mission was or why they particularly targeted the commoner. Like there's nothing of that nature. There's nothing like about a mission here or anything.
Nothing denoting a mission. Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. It's got- it's on the west before.
Hmm?
I'm making notes for myself because when I actually
Wait.
do it, it's rare. But when I actually make notes, I put them somewhere.
Fair, fair enough.
All right. Um, she is going to pocket this journal for future use or future reference. Or at the very least, a memento of whatever the fuck happened on this little journey.
Fair enough.
This is probably the first time that they've actually served themselves up on a silver platter.
Anything
This,
else?
um, my inner barrel is telling me to loot anything that isn't nailed down, but these guys are probably gonna get suspicious if I'm in there for too long and I start carrying shit out. So let's um let's have my inner professional take control and walk out. Let's not desecrate the dead. I mean, fuck them, but the others might have an issue with
Yeah.
it.
All right. You come back out. Uh, Stanton is just playing a little song on his not lute, harp. I'm gonna roll performance from him actually. Let's see how well he's doing. He's doing rather well. You see that he's helped calm the commoners down a bit. Obviously still shaken, but not as frantic as they once were.
Yeah, they're seemingly disgruntled at the moment.
Yep.
um, I think it might be worth mentioning to these guys over here, simply because ex ex professional, the current professionals, just kind of, hey, so some weird stuff happened. This is the journal, and
Are you showing them?
hmm,
You showing them a journal?
I've I want to say yes, but more so, hey, I found this. Take a look at it. There might be more things in there. Tear it apart. Less giving it to them and more, hey, so there might be more.
Fair enough. Um, this guard, the one who did not manage to land any hit, but that's the point. Takes it, kind of flips it over. Bezra. That's disconcerting. Okay. And he'll give you the journal back.
It might be worth, you know, what's the foregoing the whole warrant and seizure thing. We're outside of anyone's jurisdiction anyway.
Yes. Thank you, Miss.
Uh, Tideborn. D- don't
Ti-
worry about it.
Miss Tideboard. We shall make sure to search it thoroughly, and I do appreciate your assistance in the battle.
Uh, don't mention it. I tend to get rather cross when people shoot at me.
Uh, who,
I
who
hate my mom.
wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Uh, that's what we managed to gather from those those three, and I suppose as a thank you, and he'll hold out a small pouch of coin.
Hmm. Well,
Obviously, it's in a guard's work to protect the innocent. You and your friend did not have to hate us, so thank you.
well, you know what they say about old dogs and new tricks. I'm not even that old yet. But I'm sure he'll appreciate the tip. Thank you.
And
And
at oh, go on.
go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
At these three, like right here at their feet, you see, you obviously see their equipment. You see a mace. You see two mace, two heavy crossbow, and one club.
Right. Mm. It's a lot of weight to carry, and I don't fancy any of these things. Anything fancy about them, or are they just dime a dozen?
Just them a dozen.
Okay.
And you also see uh you see a small gold bracelet on the noble's wrist. That's about it.
Uh, if I give it a quick look over, like take it off, turn it inside, well, not turn it inside out, but look at it so I can see the inside. There any kind of family crest or anything marking or distinguishing there?
No,
Hmm.
seems to just be like a simple piece of jewelry.
Oh yeah, no, she's not giving it back. She's earned this.
Okay. And inside the pouch is you find 3 platinum pieces, 8 gold pieces, and 16 silver.
Eight, eight. Ooh, not that many. There we go. 135 silver is a lot of. It's a lot of pennies to be carrying.
Yep. And that gold bracelet is worth 25 gold.
Okay. Uh, maybe just put 25 GP instead of just GP. That'd be lovely. All right. Well, if these guys don't have anything else on them, I am gonna waltz over here and show him our, mostly his, earnings.
Um, he's actually sitting on the floor, kind of playing his lute. And as you hold out the coin, he just says, "Oh,
The the others said that normally it's their job to do this kind of stuff, so the fact that we pitched in, well, we earned something off of it, even if it was off those poor dumb bastards.
well, I suppose if you insist." And he'll take the coin.
It's
I'm not one to say no.
think of it as I don't want to say it's a bit of a gift because that makes me seem soft. How about of a bribe? Yes, you can tell the others it's a bribe.
Of course. And he'll pocket it. Just out of curiosity, how much did you give him?
How much was the total in all?
It was 3 plat, 8 gold, and 16 silver.
3 plat, 8 gold, 16 silver. I'll keep the gold and the silver. I'll let them keep the plat between the three of them.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because this is
Okay,
already
that
getting.
was about Phantom. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Ooh, no, not that many. Okay. I'm gonna start needing a calculator with me. Okay, I think I have everything except answers. I have everything except answers.
All right. Is there anything else you do this night? Obviously, it takes everyone a bit to go back to sleep. Given the commotion and the murder.
Right.
But
Um.
after a bit, everything just kind of winds down.
knowing damn well that she was the thing that went bump in the night, she is going to go pass out with no issues whatsoever.
Okay.
Everyone else is nervous. Everyone else is nervous because I got woken up in the middle of an attack. I'm just fucking tired because I started the attack.
Fair enough. Okay. Um. Well. Very well then. Let's see. The next day. Um. You all awake rather later in the morning. Obviously. Um. Y'all be tired,
Right.
and your sleep got disturbed in the middle of the night. Oh, I guess the commoner's sleep got disturbed. You were still awake.
Right.
Um. You see that you wake up to see that throughout the night the guards took their time to dismantle this man's cave and basically tent, and they've seemingly used any empty crates to just stuff anything and everything they could find from it to take with them to Verdoso or back to Antlatune. The corpses are nowhere to be found. They've also seemingly boarded those up for further investigation.
Eh,
And once you are all packed, tents all loaded up, and bed rolls ready at the ready, I mean, you all continue to set off to Berdosa. I must say this happened like maybe a week into the trip.
Is it a week?
Yep.
Roughly about the halfway point. That was
Yeah.
hopefully where I was thinking to ambush him, somewhere at that little crossroads. So glad to see that just kind of happened.
Yeah. So you guys continue. The first few days back on the road are a bit rough, for reasons. There is distress brewing amongst the caravanners, but Phantom does his best to just kind of I guess relieve the tension a bit with his playing, singing. Um
If it's worth anything, Eylia could probably try and think of some of the funnier and more ridiculous things she saw when she was just starting out in the guard. You know, just
yeah,
that. What's the stupidest thing you've ever seen? Oh, well, I got something for you. That kind of thing.
yeah. Roll me charisma. Just straight charisma.
Ha!
It takes a
So
bit.
close. So
It takes a bit for the commoners to kind of begin chiming in, but eventually around like the third day, until the second day, they the tension kind of drops, and they kind of feel more at ease, um, retaking the road. By the third, events of that night haven't been forgotten, but they've kind of been. I guess
glossed over.
their worries have been put to rest.
Glossed over.
Yeah,
It's behind us.
exactly. And eventually, after another week and a couple of days, you all arrive at Berdosa. Berdosa is a small crossroads town. Um, it's not nearly as big as Antlatune. It is just kind of a little pit stop, if you would, for travelers coming to and from Daxon.
Buddy, you just described 70% of the Midwest.
Fair enough. Um, as
Mm.
you roll up, you are met as like the caravan rolls up. I mean, you all are met by a ruby-skinned tiefling with dark red hair and dandelion yellow eyes. She takes the horses and kind of helps everyone unload, I guess.
Right.
Um, the guards take their leave, taking the crates and in I guess in what's it called? In rounds. They first take the crates and then they take the bodies of
Right.
of both the guard and these three I don't want to call them bandits. These three
Mm,
attackers. They'll just say attackers.
fair enough.
And as everyone kind of goes on their own way, you end up
Yeah.
accompanying Stanton to the local brewery,
Mm.
where he just takes the time to pick up his shipment, um, before yeah, he takes the shipment and gets ready to set back up on the road. I don't know if there's any last words you want to discuss with the man's.
Um,
Like the reason he's so quick to leave him, by the way, is because like
yeah, he's got shit
uh
to do back home. Yeah.
yeah, like they're down two people.
Not to mention the fact that big ass delivery, they're supposed to be getting back with this too. So,
Yep.
uh, hmm. I'm not going to lie, I have so many questions about why you can just, I don't know, casually break a couple ribs and keep walking it off. We can talk about that when I get back, but we're talking about this, alright?
All right. Uh, we shall see. To
You
each their own.
know I can be annoying as hell. I'll get it out of you eventually, but we can play it that way.
Darling, I've dealt with Randall since he was 10.
You've had practice.
An understatement. You stay safe, okay? Please do right.
I'll I'll do my best. I'll promise you that much. No undue misadventures.
All right. I'll be seeing you, Eylia.
Hopefully, rather soon.
Hopefully, yes. And he kind of gives you like a half hug before patting you on the back, taking the cart and heading back the way you guys came. It's about midday, I must say.
Right. Well, took care of a problem. Just kind of looking around town. Okay, now what? Guess farther north? West? Maybe east? What along shadows in Vexworth? Maybe a drink first. And we're gonna go find ourselves an inn to think.
All right. As you kind of walk around, you find one of the bigger buildings, a small quaint inn, and you see it labeled. You see like a little arch over the front door with a bell, and in front of the bell you see the name of Bronze Bell Inn.
Oh, it's quaint.
As you walk in, it is much more quiet and much more quaint than any establishment in Amplitude. Um, there are a handful of people inside at this hour. It is the lunch rush, quote unquote. And as you walk in, a small little bell chimes, and you see an older woman at the bar perk up. She is a natural fair-skinned woman with long gray braided hair, champagne eyes, and rather short. She's around 4'7". She looks up there in years, especially for a human, and she says, "Oh, welcome."
Hello. I'm literally just got into town and I need a place to stay for a couple of days, and this place seems absolutely wonderful for that.
Oh, thank you. How many days would that be?
Um, let's go for 3, 4 for now, and if I need to extend it, we'll talk.
Understood. That'd be 4 gold. It includes breakfast.
Uh, Gorgle. Yeah, 7 gold. I'll hand it over. Not 17, 7.
She'll take the gold. You see her return to the counter, and she pulls out a key. Third one on the right.
Appreciate it, love.
I do hope you enjoy your stay. Do know if you need anything, you can ask. And she gives you a soft smile.
I'll gently nod in return and go to at least put a couple of my things up.
Uh, the room is rather quaint. Actually a bit smaller than than any of the rooms you had in any of the rooms the Laughing Turtle had in Amplitude, but it's not uncomfortable. As you're actually here in Berdosa, you notice that the weather, it's not a lot colder, but it is fairly fresh. You were previously living like around the coast,
Right.
so it is a bit cooler up here.
Bit more brisk.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to remember. Uh, Trying to remember if there was a particular point I'm supposed to be aiming for because my brain is absolute garbage right now. Um,
Now you just roll, and I'll be sure to get you there.
what was that one?
You just do you, and I'll be sure to get you there, or point you in that direction, I guess.
Alright. Well, for the time being, if she's going anywhere farther north, she is going to need warmer clothes. So let's spend a couple days to figure out what the fuck we're doing and at least not freeze to death. She
Fair
is,
enough.
if not cold blooded, close to it.
Yeah,
Lukewarm at best.
yeah. Okay. Let's see. Unless you take like the first day or two just to kind of get settled. I'll look around for a bit. Um, as you take these days here in Berdosa, you notice that there's not much in terms of commerce. Like sure, carts go in and out, pass through, whatnot. But their main businesses are the inn, the general store, the stables, and the blacksmith. Outside of that, it's basically the bare bones, I guess you could say, like what someone would need to kind of I guess anything a checkpoint would need.
Right.
Yeah. Clothes you'd probably find in the general store, and yeah, I would say one night as you're kind of just having dinner at the inn, you would hear a hike and guard talk about talk about Monarch Incra and how the search is actually ongoing. Like this is now it is no longer a rumor. It is now confirmation amongst the guard that this search is still ongoing.
Well, I did just buy new winter clothes.
I'll
I
run you
did.
10 silver for that clothes, by the way.
What?
I'll run you 10 silver for that clothes.
I was figuring that.
Yep. Or 1 gold. That's it.
I'd honestly rather spend the silver for that.
Fair enough. But yeah,
And gold
oh,
bracelet is apparently a barter item.
what?
Oh, I'm literally just holding on to this gold bracelet as basically emergency money. This is emergency 25 gold.
Fair enough.
If I am
Um,
down bad, I have it.
yeah, that's fair. But yeah, you basically learn that although not common knowledge, like it's not everyone's talking about this search that Vivian is doing. The guard is actually like this search is now on not every guard's to-do list, but it is like a thing, I guess you could say.
Right. It's starting to make the rounds on the priorities.
Yep.
Well, seems the best way to avoid this is to go the exact opposite direction. Either that or tax him, but I don't think I really want to go there, do I? Am I that desperate? Nah. We're probably thinking of going up this way for now, just to keep ahead of the crowd.
Yep.
Maybe try to find something low key to do here ish, just to kind of keep
Yeah.
an in room on retainer. But other than that, we're just gonna kind of play it by ear. But it seems, yep, 3 days was just enough. We're out.
Okay. All right. Are you heading out the same day or the following?
The following
On the
most
same day?
likely have the
Okay.
most stuff to most daylight. There we go.
Yeah. All right. Let me see something real quick.
Go ahead.
You'd probably know this because I mean, has Eylia been on the road before, or has she always just lived in the city?
Uh, I imagine she's always just kind of been in the city.
Okay. Now I'm gonna ask you what I had to ask Tyler. What'd she think to get camping supplies?
That's actually what I was trying to see because I wanted to see if that had a set price or if I am haggling with the DM here. Ow.
Um, you tell me what you want to buy, and I'll math it out.
Alright. I have the wrong window open, that's why. Uh, all all I would realistically need would be a mess kit so I can eat slash cook in. Very basic, but it works.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, doesn't look like I have a bedroll. But forgoing a bedroll for a tent would wouldn't be the most comfortable, but be bare bonesing it. Honestly, it'd be easier just to get the bedroll, the tent, and the mess kit and call it a day. Cause
All right.
cause I have rations, so.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you've seen this, but the map is actually labeled with days.
Yeah.
Yeah. From here to here, it's 7, but this little stretch is doubled. It's a winding valley.
Okay.
So here would be up to here would be 17 days, and then from here it'd be 24. I believe it's 13. 33, I mean, not 13. 33 days total.
50 days. I have him. Uh. Fucking. Rations. Okay, so it is 1 gold for 2. So I basically need 2 platinum could get me all the way there food wise.
Yeah.
So then it's just the tent, the bedroll, and the kit.
10 bedroll and kit?
Yes.
Wait. Let me math that out for you.
Because with her traveler's clothes and her winter clothes and her backpack, I mean she basically has a functional pillow. So
Yep. Okay.
I got the tinder box, other background stuff, torches, water skin. Yep.
Tent will run you 1 gold. Let me see. I'm looking for the other stuff. Tent. Mess kit will run you 1 silver.
Okay.
And bedroll will run you 7 silver. I'm guessing you're chuckling on foot?
Yes.
Alright.
She is fairly confident in her own abilities when she doesn't have to hold back.
Fair enough.
She's not necessarily scared. She's probably going to be uncomfortable, but she's not worried.
Yeah. Alright. So from Verdosa, you set off. I'll just move this. As you head off, you've never actually left Kaika. You've never left the region which is known as Kaika. Only fairly recently did you move off the mainland, off the island, I mean, the archipelago. And a few days ago, you arrived on a different region. In a different region, I mean, that being Daxon. So as you have traversed this main road up north, you kind of taken the scenery that's much different to what you grew up around. Not only were you used to large bustling cities, and this is quite the opposite, being just plains with nearby forests. You also you had already realized that the weather was a lot cooler, but you also feel the breeze be a lot sweeter. I guess you could say you grew used to the salty breeze of the Kyrin region, and being much farther inland, the breeze here is uh, almost fresher than what you'd expect. Um, at night, you notice that the skies are actually they're actually significantly clear from what you're used to. Growing up in the city, you saw a few stars, although not a lot, given the constant shining of torches and of lanterns.
No,
However,
it's a lot of light pollution. Yeah.
exactly. However, here in the middle of the night, there's no light source for miles. So, as you set up camp the first night, you look up and you see the night sky peppered with various shining stars. Um, into your travels, everything's fairly calm actually. You managed to reach these hills, which you have been warned are actually rather winding. And at first, you really didn't take it much into mind. Um, for you, it's just like another route, I guess, another path to traverse. But as you reached about the halfway point, you realize that yeah, it is a lot longer than one would expect seeing it on a map. 2 weeks into your travel, um, you see a storm in the distance. Would you continue on, or would you try your luck and hope it disperses by the time you get there?
That's a good question. Being on an island, or at least being that close to the coast, storms can get pretty nasty. The question is, would you be able to tell the difference between inland, coastal? Eh, maybe she'll give it a minute or two to make sure that storm isn't going directly at her.
Uh, you
If she
give it a
has to
minute.
hunker down,
Yeah.
say if she has to hunker down, now's the time, as opposed to before when it starts to rain.
You give it a minute or two, just kind of watching it, and you do just see that it is um as you kind of see it, it is just kind of a pillar of rain on this one area. It doesn't seem to be getting closer, and you can't exactly tell if it's getting farther or not. But it does seem to be pouring down hard. You feel the cold breeze from it.
Well, winter clothes are not meant for rainstorms. Guess I better hope I know how to hunt. Ah, no,
Fair enough.
There's a town on the way. I'll be fine. I'll be.
All right. So you hunker down. Um, I'm gonna say it was like late evening, and by the time you set up your tent, you actually you hear more so, a few drops of rain fall upon your tent. Um, and for like a short burst, like maybe 5 minutes, max 10, it comes down hard. um, but from your knowledge, from what you observed, it's not as bad as it was when it was in the distance. It at most you are uncomfortably cold, but that's it. You're not no water permeated the tent.
Hmm.
It's a bit muddy where you camped out, but that's besides the point.
I just put my regular layer of clothes on underneath. There we go. Double layer.
Yeah. Eventually, you managed to pass through Ashstead. I haven't made Ashstead yet, so we're just gonna montage through it. If you buy something,
Probably just if the storm held me back at all, just probably just enough to make up for that.
but just a day,
Yeah.
a day's worth of travel. Just that.
Um,
Yeah.
I would spend a gold for an extra two.
All right. You continue on. Da, da, da. Give me a second.
Go ahead.
Are you just keeping to the road, or would you be doing anything while on this journey?
I I think every now and then she should travel kind of more next to it, because those rumors of the search are already making their way up here. Has me a little worried.
All right, fair enough. Um,
Maybe just one night instead of getting back to the road after I camp, I just go. It's gonna go north from here.
fair enough. Okay. As you kind of peel off from the road, um, you kind of find a clearing. You just sort of I guess this is sound weird, but you kind of stomp on it to kind of like make a place for your tent, kind of clear the area a bit. And as you do, you find some little red berries. You find a small bushel of them.
I hmm. Oh,
Just berries.
part of me wants to trust you, but the other part of me, the Boy Scouts, like, don't just shove random berries in your mouth. That's how you die. That's how you die. Yeah, it might not be water hemlock, but it's gonna be something nasty. Uh, I mean, could I try to roll to see if there's a nature survival check on these? There's not
Yeah,
my
go for it.
they're
Yeah.
not really my best not really my best skills, but anything's better than just kind of guessing here.
Yeah, go for it. Roll nature.
Nature, slightly better.
All right. Um, I'm gonna say, given where you grew up, you haven't seen these berries before. I will say though, as you kind of look them over, you will see I guess a few pits around where you can assume like a little animal just ate it and just kind of left the pit behind before scurrying off. The animal's nowhere to be seen, so it didn't die.
Fair enough. Not not any evidence that it was getting sick around here, so worst case scenario, upset stomach. All right, better better than nothing. Yeah.
You pluck a good handful off this little stem. You get 8 total.
Yeah.
You munching down. You munching.
Yes.
As you pop one in your mouth, it tastes a bit uh sour, but almost tart. Um, at the end of chewing, it kind of releases a small hint of sweetness. It's not bad. Probably not what you're expecting though. But as you finish, it feels you feel kind of I guess more awake. As you da, 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 gain 5 temporary hit points.
Ooh.
That's it. Yeah,
Ooh, these are
just a little berry snack.
invigorating.
When yeah, that's it. Uh, I don't know if you keep an eye on I don't know if you keep an eye out for these once you realize that, but yeah, these are um you won't know the name of them, but for you as a player, you would know that these are Leven berries, Leven.
All right, all right. Voice crack, Jesus.
And assuming where you found them, they are native to forests and Greenland. Hence why you've never seen them in Kaika.
Now, whether or not up north's going to be too snowy of a forest, we'll see. But I have a good feeling.
Neat.
And I have a new favorite snack.
Hell yeah. And for what it's worth, you continue on. Little gets in your way, honestly. Like occasionally there's the weather kind of turns not necessarily for the worst, but for example, there are days where it's just very windy. That's to the point that's just better to just hunker down for a bit. Let the wind pass and continue on. During one of the days, you do get caught in a light shower, but nothing major. And eventually, after these 33 days, you do manage to arrive to Silvervale.
Ah,
And as you cross the gate, you hear a voice echo in your head. And you hear a very familiar voice say, "Not bad. I never took you for one to try and travel north."
what do I owe the pleasure?
Come now, don't be so hospitable. I just sense something nearby. might be best to see what this town has to offer.
Is this your way of putting in another order?
Not necessarily. Though I am pleased that you managed to take out one, quote unquote nobleman. Call it curiosity. Call it curiosity.
What? Yes?
No, I just said call it curiosity, like the fact that he
Oh,
wants.
all.
Yeah.
My bad. That's rather vague for you. Why do I feel like this is some kind of trick test?
Oh, Eylia, you wound me. Can I not be curious? After all, you've never really left the coast.
I hate it that you're actually managing to you're actually managing to talk me into this. Alright. Say I were to play along. Where?
How do you mean?
Well, do you want me to get a look at something? You feel something. This is the part of you want. Play some kind of trick, some kind of riddle, some kind of weird, esoteric, mumbo jumbo shit you drop in me in my dreams. What's the catch? What's the rub?
You feel that presence of a chuckle in your head. If I were to tell you, where's the fun in that? In all seriousness, though, I couldn't exactly pinpoint it. A little hunch.
So, start turning over rocks, is what I'm hearing.
Turning over rocks, maybe taking up odd jobs, maybe murdering a prisoner in the barracks.
You're pushing your luck. We'll see what we can do.
I don't expect you to do the last one. We saw how it went last time.
If you recall, I'm currently running still.
You're currently evading. Running would be if they knew it was you.
Are you going to hit me with technicalities? You would have made a fine lawyer. It's a damn shame that you're this instead.
Damn shame indeed. And you feel the presence subside.
Oh. Wonder how fast they can send a resume. Let's find myself a job. Bussing tables? It's under the table. Under the table. Under the... I want to say under the radar. That feels incorrect a statement, but equivalent of.
Yeah. I like to imagine, like, as you're having this talk mentally, you're kind of traversing the roads of Silvervale.
Oh yeah, just kind of aimless wandering at this point.
Yeah. As you do so, you come across this fairly large building. Not ornate, but definitely somewhere between like very nice common and nobility, and like low nobility, I guess I could say.
Okay.
Like well kept.
Yeah.
And you recognize this like an emblem on this building, which I will decide later, as the Adventurers Guild. And although there's not much foot traffic going in and out, you do see a bulletin board outside. What you would know as your time working the guard, and it's just kind of general knowledge, is that a lot of the jobs um, provided by the Adventurers Guild tend to be ignored, mainly because either the pay or they're falsely advertised. Like you expect to go in to do one thing and you end up doing another. And you see a lot of jobs on this board. You see fetch quest. You see like do me a favor and collect this herb from this part of the forest. You see one that basically boils down to help me deal with some rats in my basement, basically. And then you see one that catches your eye. It has to do with the Mirror's Forest and a botanist. I'm still figuring out the details, but it catches your eye, and the pay is not bad. You see that it is requesting help a few days out. Something about it just calls to you, basically.
Well, it's even farther away. And I'm in no particular direction to wander. Why not? I'm gonna go ahead and. I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and take the entire damn flyer with me.
They kind of do that thing where they put like multiple in one on one like I guess thumbtack, so you could take one and
Ah,
they'll leave another behind.
they got one of the little rip strips. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Um, you take that. I'm guessing you hunkered down at and waiting for said day to come.
Yeah,
All right.
she's not too keen on hiking through the frozen ass wastes on her own. She walked up this way. Nope, that was enough.
Fair. You would like on the back of this flyer there would be like a map. Um, it'd basically be Can I? Let me see if I can do this real quick. Oh, nope. That's not transparent. Fuck. It'd basically be this part of the map, and it label the objective, quote unquote, in this area. A
Pretty,
few days out.
yeah, pretty large area to go through, but pretty large area to keep me occupied.
Yeah. But yeah, you stay at an inn. They charge you 1 gold per night. I'll say that this little mission is, let's say, 4 days out still.
Okay.
I'm still need to make Silvervale, so shopping here would be until the first session, but that's besides the point. Is there
Right.
anything Eylia would like do you want to do before we call it?
Uh, just curious. Is there a constable's office or a sheriff's or whatever the nearest law enforcement agency may be?
It's typically the barracks. It's typically like the town hall and then like the barracks where the guard typically stay. You'd know that you are currently in the jurisdiction of Daxon.
They got any annoying posters they want gone?
I'm guessing wanted posters.
She's just checking her options.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah. Um. Oh, by the way, Silvervale is closer to Atlatune than Berdosa is.
Right.
Less foot traffic, but there's a lot more given that it's between two regions, and there's a lot of general trading going on. Let's see. Uh, okay, yeah. You'll see two that you feel are within your reach that wouldn't be all that difficult to complete. You see that there is a wanted thief, pickpocket. You gather that this man has been a pain in Silvervale's side for a while, given that his poster does just say wanted dead or alive.
Damn.
Like typically pickpocketing isn't seen as that major of a crime, but
You have
taken
to
yeah.
you have to stick your hands in the wrong pockets to get a dead on your fucking sentence poster.
Yeah.
Like,
Outside of that, you'd see a, let's say, a scam artist, a con man.
uh, they've been up here this long, no one was really jumping to get it done, so I guess I have time to think on my options if I start getting outside cravings. Well, let's hope it's not that bad and that this thing in the Merry Woods pays off.
All right. So, with that, you've you basically left your temporary home in Amplitude. You dealt with a I still want to call him cultist, but we'll just say you dealt with an attacker on your way to Berdosa after realizing that one, you're kind of being searched for, and two, this man is actually your target. For Aetheric, you bid farewell to Thanton, who accompanied you to Berdosa, and you've made your way to Silvervale, where we will end this session 0.
Sounds good. I'm happy with this progress.
Hell yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, if my voice cracks one more fucking time.